What's good, YouTube? This video is going to be about the high value man obsession and why, for the most part, I think it's foolishness. A quote by Confucius states, "The superior man always thinks of virtue. The common man thinks of comfort." Remember that quote. Virtue is defined as behavior showing high moral standards, or as I like to call it, standing for shit. What does the man you like stand for, and what does he believe in? This is a question rarely answered up front by the women who find themselves smitten by the so-called high-value men around them. How does he treat others? What is his relationship with superiority? To be quite honest, while it has some place, while there are truths in it, the overarching theme of this high-value man narrative teaches hurt women to cater to and ass-kiss men who have a superiority complex. I wish the high-value man narrative was just sold to the so-called high-value women, but it's not. It's a lot of broken women watching this content, getting this information, and misapplying it to themselves. So to them I speak, not to the high-value women who want a high-value man. Go do your thing. But the problem is, every message isn't for everybody. And there's a lot of women who need to sit this one out. The subject of high-value men, that is. It makes no hard requirement for a superior moral standard of this so-called high-value man. It always starts with a presumption of greatness and value for a man, before breaking down the self-image of a woman and burdening her to prove herself, all to make him comfortable, all to make herself convenient. It also teaches women consciously and subconsciously that they are abundant and men are scarce. So if any woman dare inconvenience a so-called high-value man, then she is deserving of the neglect and the mistreatment that she might receive from him. Again, the superior man always thinks of virtue. The common man thinks of comfort. Confucius. Stop ass-kissing men because you think he's high value when all he thinks of is his convenience. You are not a victim if you sacrifice your body to change a man's mind to convince him to loving you once he's shown you that he won't. Every man isn't misleading women. Some of you are misleading yourselves. The sexual market value of the so-called high-value man and the true value that a man adds to a woman and relationship are two different things. A man's function and his virtue is his relationship value. Not his damn bank account and not his damn wardrobe. What he offers to his woman is his value to her. How he treats her is his value to her. His willingness to love, collaborate, and compromise is his value to her. Not his car, not his house, not his salary, not his damn social media following. Some so-called high-value men have nothing of value to offer you. Yet you chase them anyway. Stop ass-kissing and self-sacrificing for these men who require women to bow to their superiority complex. A lot of women are sleeping with men because of their status, their money, or their popularity. And I know it's exciting, but guess what? It doesn't serve you. You don't get any of those things. The most you'll get is a few extra followers if you bang a high-value man that everybody knows about. Way to go. And again, I'm always talking to women who want real love and real relationships. I'm not talking to you sexual freebirds. This isn't a video for y'all. I don't make a lot of videos for y'all, honestly. Love and respect, though. A lot of women are looking for a come-up, but they're not being honest with themselves about that. They're in denial. And I can't help them. Not until they figure out their priorities. You are paying with your body for a purchase that you will never receive. What good does it do you that all the other women want to screw him as well? Because that's the value we're talking about. Man's popular. Man has resources. Women love resources. Everybody wants to screw man. That's his value. Not how he treats a woman, not his impact, not what he does, not what he stands for, but the fact that other women want to screw him. How does that serve you again? Some of us are so hungry for status that we'll do anything to get next to it. So again, I ask, what good does it do you that all the other women want to screw him to get next to status, or that he has loads of money that he won't share with you, or that he's established and smart, but he doesn't have any love to give or any intent to love? How does that help you? So you screw someone who was cultured or who was famous or who had some status or you rode in a nice car. What does that do for you? Like, think about this. I make good money. I have a job, a full-time job, and I do YouTube. But if I was financially abusing my wife, would I be high value to her? Would my good money be of any value or service to her? I'm popular. Some people know me. I'm a micro YouTube celebrity. But if I use that popularity to gain access to other women to cheat, Would my popularity, would my status, would my subscribers and my views be of any value to her? Would it be high value to her? I'm smart. But if I weaponize that to condescend and speak down to my wife, would my intelligence be of high value to her? I have high self-esteem. But if I thought I was better and more superior than my wife as a human being, as a person, because I got nuts hanging, would my confidence, would my positive self-image be of high value to her? Even if I was good and decent, but had no love to give and no intention to settle down, would all of my money, accomplishments, and accolades be of any value, especially high value, to the many women I slept with if I was single and mingling? Real high value men, not just in idea, but in function. Use all that they are and all that they have for the benefit of their families and the people they love. That includes the women they love and the children they have with those women. That includes their families and the people they are in serious relationships or marriages with. If a man's high value doesn't benefit you, then it is of no value to you. I've coached over 4,000 women, and I can tell you with certainty, the most disempowered women I meet consistently are those who've attached themselves to the idea that they need to go find themselves a high value man. They usually get this label because of their status or their finances. But again, we must ask ourselves, of what value is all of that to you? Narcissists use all of their resources to disempower. Self-identifying high-value men often do the same. Many weaponize their resources and their status to get sexual access to women that they will never love. Do you think you're special to a man like this? Consider his history. He will smell your flower like he did the last 300. A man's impact is his value. His effect on the world around him is his greatness. There are a lot of high-quality men who are financially educated, who don't necessarily worship their own asses and status, who aren't attached to the idea of being a high-value man as much as being a great man or a good person, who don't approach life and people and women especially with status in hand, but humility. They inspire, they empower, and they motivate. Real high-value men should be of high value to the women they love and not just themselves, beyond their wallets. Drop the superiority complex worshiping and seek out a man who's humble. Some of you are staring way too closely at the men you marvel at instead of studying the impact that they've had on the women they've encountered. Some of you would do well to start looking for signs of disempowerment in the people around them, especially in the women of their past. Listen, some selfish, self-serving son of a bitch who will never see a woman's value, her human value to him as equal, will never share all that he is and all that he has in a healthy relationship. Stop sacrificing your years, your mental health, your emotional health, and your bodies to get next to status, unless status is your overarching goal and not a healthy relationship. Many of you women would chase a man with a bigger bank account and no relationship skills or integrity over an average earner who's a good financial steward, manages his money well, and has good character, who also has love to give. You think the better man is settling. We'll be praying for you. Some of y'all need to drop the standard of high value, top 5%er to fiscally responsible man who's a good financial steward who has character and an intent to love. Men who don't obsess about their status, but their virtue, their character, what they offer the world, their humanity, and yours. Who take their pride from their personal moral values and not the dollar amounts around them. Figure out what is high value for you to be in a happy and a healthy relationship. Stop counting a man's assets and his resources as his relationship value. How he functions and intends to live, especially with his woman, are his value. Loyalty, respect, and consideration are his value. Those of you pocket watching will get what you asked for. Again, the superior man thinks of virtue, the common man thinks of comfort. Which of these men have you really been after all these years? Ask yourself that. Anyway, that's all I got for now. Follow me at KFig24 on Instagram. I'll get with y'all later.